I met Christian Fourier. I met a bunch of them, and they were all very nice. In fact, I hooked up with Christian Fourier years later in Seattle when he played for the Seahawks, and I was living in Seattle, and he would go to Swanee's, and he remembered me, and we talked and stuff. So I wasn't a football guy, but I liked those guys. I knew some of the guys from the basketball team. I knew some of the guys from the weightlifting. You know, I just knew a couple guys. I didn't hang out with them. Shortly after I enrolled in school, I got invited to a football game. When I went back to continue again, I got invited to a football game, and I saw a quarterback named Salinesi. He was a freshman, and he threw for like 3 touchdowns that fucking day, 2 touchdowns. He was great. Somebody invited me to a game, and I went. And shortly after that, I was selling Toyotas, and somebody contacted me. When I first got to Boulder in November of '86, I needed a job. So I got a job at the car wash, the Puddle Car Wash. I worked there as a towel guy for about 3 months. You know, it was $6 an hour plus tips. You made about $75 a day, but you froze your fucking ass off and you worked, dog. You had to wipe down cars and vacuum and shit. It was fucking work. But you know what, man? I was dumb. I didn't have any plans. I had no high school diploma. This is what I had to do. Years later, they called me back, and they're like, hey, man, we want to talk to you about a position over here if you want to take it. And I'm like, sure. And they're like, we want you to be our host. That's where you greet people and sell them. And I was like, it's great. You make like $1,500 a week, and you work 3 days a week. I was like, what? In Boulder? And they're like, yeah, man, it's great money. And if you work 5 or 6 days a week, but you have to share the job with this other guy. So my job was to get the other guy to quit, but that was later on. This Puddle Car Wash was one of CU's biggest boosters. The guy that owned it, his name was Howard. Sweetheart of a guy, his wife. I worked for a guy named Richie, and there was a black dude there that played for CU football. He was just a great guy. His name was Howard. And they hired me, and, you know, I would meet all the coaches. I met Gary, the assistant offensive coordinator. I met a bunch of guys. I also met the DA of Boulder, who got me off probation after I got out of prison and parole. I met a lot of people there. It was a great job for me. I got to meet the McCarthys, the wife and the coach, you know. Nice people, you know. Irish Catholics, my type of fucking people. She was always very nice. I didn't know nothing about nothing. And all of a sudden, one fucking day, I hear that she's pregnant. The daughter is pregnant with the quarterback's son. You know, and there's a big scandal going on in Boulder. I don't give a fuck about scandals or anything. I'm just paying attention for that. And shortly after that, it was revealed that he had stomach cancer, inoperable stomach cancer. This fucking 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid from Oceanside, California, who was fucking great. The reason why I'm telling you all this is because I saw the 30 for 30. The other night I saw it was on, and I taped it. I'd never seen it before. And I put it on, and I had forgotten about my time in Boulder, and I was just trying to be normal, guys. I had gotten the biggest second chance of my life by being able to go to college with money, with Pell Grants and fucking, you know, loans and shit, but it wasn't costing me an arm and a leg. I was proud of that. You know, I was proud when I walked on the campus. I felt like a fucking $1,000,000. Like, I'm like, my friends from Jersey will never believe this, that I'm on a CU Boulder campus, not a CU Boulder Extension campus, not a CU State campus. I'm at the University of Colorado, GED, quit school, and I'm walking around like I own the joint, you know. And it was just fun, guys. And again, for me, it was a mind fuck. I had forgotten who I was. I'd forgotten that I was just a dirty fucking criminal from North Bergen, but it felt good just to dream, you know. It always feels good just to dream, you know, walking around campus and shit like that. And the football team got popular, and then they lost to Notre Dame in the championship game. They made it to the fucking Orange Bowl. And that's when I was really involved, in 91. And then going into the second season, that's when Salinesi died. And they dedicated the season to him, and they fucking went to the Orange Bowl, and they won. I was all a part of that in a way. Like, not that I played football, not that I was a sponsor, or not that I was, you know, I was there. It was just so weird that I was there for all this. And then he died, and they won, and, you know, people were fucking tearing the coach's daughter, and it was just a bad situation. It's hard to believe that it was 30 fucking years ago, and that kid that they had, because I did the math 2 nights ago, he's 34 years old now, that kid. She ended up having 3 other kids with football players and shit. That's none of my business. She was a great, sweet girl. God knows what her motives were. I don't fucking know. But it was such a great time for me. Like, I was a part of something that wasn't criminal. I mean, let's face it, I was faking the funk, but it was just great, man. It just felt great to talk to kids, and just, I don't know. It was short-lived. I went back to the University of Colorado and tried to sign up for 6 credits for continuing it on the sly. Just for me. I didn't care about the degree or anything at this point. And I got a letter like a month later telling me that I wasn't allowed on campus anymore, that they would have to call the police if I went on campus and charge me with trespassing because I had gotten a felony and I wasn't allowed on campus. And that, guys, I don't have to tell you. I mean, when I was watching this, I was thinking about all this, and I had tears in my eyes because it was the end. Like, I had this short-lived college fucking career, and I thought after prison that I could just make it all go away and walk back there like a fucking man, but they told me they were going to throw me on, and I got a lawyer, and I tried taking him to court, and it just got nowhere. And then we just made a pact. Listen, you're not really banned from campus, but by that time it was too fucking late, But it was such an interesting couple of years. It was something that, at least it gave me something to get up for every day. And the only regret I have at that whole fucking time is that I was involved in that whole Boulder fucking kidnapping thing. And the other thing was that I really didn't grasp at what was going on because I was high on coke half the fucking time. The cocaine was deep, deep, deep in my motherfucking system. So, but it was, man, I see people now, like young kids, and I talk to them and they're like, I'm not going to go to college or whatever. I wish everybody goes to college. I wish I could have gone. That's one of my shortcomings, and that's one of the things I wish. And I've tried to take classes at night, and I looked on schedules. It's not the same. It's never going to be the same. I'm glad I got the opportunity. It was very fucking exciting. But can you imagine me with a little CU shirt on with books and shit? Guys, I was selling it.